Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and what you see in front of you here is a new Lego set that I recently received. I actually got this as an early Father's Day present from my family. Now, when I was younger, I really liked Legos. I love putting them together, following instructions, and seeing the end result kind of come to life. So this past weekend, I took my family up to Legoland in Winter Haven, Florida. If you guys haven't been, it's just basically a theme park that is all based around Legos. So all the rides, all the attractions, and everything has a Lego theme to it. So we went there for my son's birthday, and as we were leaving, we went into one of the stores and I told him to pick out a set that I would go ahead and buy for him. And as I was looking in the shelves, I saw this one here and my eyes lit up. I couldn't believe it. I just really liked the look of this. So as you guys can tell, this is basically taking the ship inside of a bottle idea and transforming it into a Lego, which looks really awesome. And it also looks like it's the Lego Ideas collection, and from what I'm looking at in the box and reading and stuff like that, it just seems like somebody came up with this idea, they submitted it to Legos, Lego really liked it, and they turned it into a set. So again, they purchased this for me as an early Father's Day present. So I want to go through on the video and put it together and show you guys what it looks like all together at the end. So just a quick look around the box. So again, this is the front of the box here, and I like the fact that it follows this kind of whole nautical theme to it all around it. That is the back, obviously the ship outside of the bottle, and then the empty bottle there. And this is what I was talking about. So it just says, share your idea, gather support, Lego review, new Lego product. So again, I think this means that somebody thought about it, shared it with Lego, they thought it was a good idea, and then they went ahead and made it into a set. Now this particular set at the Lego store was $69.99. I don't know if that's you know, the standard price out there, but I figured for what it is, it looks really cool and it definitely did speak to me. I thought it was a fair enough price. So let's go ahead and put it together. All right, guys, I wanted to come back to the video and show you guys where I'm at. This is roughly page 18 of the instructions, but I want to tell you that you definitely need to make sure that you're following the instructions correctly. Now, I haven't built a Lego set in quite some time, so I don't know if they've just gotten more intricate as the years since I was younger, but you know, this one little piece here it's only page 18, so definitely pay attention, because there's a couple of these pieces that are angled in just in one way, and you want to make sure that you put them in there correctly. All right, so back to the build. All right, guys, so I have the majority of the actual ship built, and it looks really cool. The little cannons on the side look really awesome. And then I actually just finished building the sails themselves. And this is what I really enjoy about Legos, is once you start kind of piecing all these pieces together, and you could start seeing the end result pretty near. So putting in that one sail, now you can just kind of like, you know, move it around how you like it. And then the other one here, right on the front. I'm trying to be careful. There we go. All right. So again, you're able to angle these however you want, bring them down, bring them up. So as you guys can tell, it looks really cool. So let's keep going with the build. All right, so I just finished putting in the last sail in the front right here. And as you guys can tell, this one actually has a little crow's nest right on top. It's a little bigger than the other ones. I love the attention to detail that they place, and just the thinking that goes into all the bricks, how they're supposed to lay together to come up with this really awesome image here. So that is actually the end of the first bag. So as you guys saw, the bags are numbered. So now it tells you, you're gonna go into bag number 2 right here. So I'll set this down and then bring out bag number 2. Now, one thing to note is that you do have quite a few of extra pieces. They always do that just in case one of them falls or something like that. So when you're building these sets, you should always do this on a flat surface, somewhere that you have more than enough room to lay out your pieces and kind of plan how you're going to be putting them together and stuff like that. So let's go on to bag number 2. All right, so I'm in the process of bag number 2, and this is about 6 or 7 pages in, and it's nothing but these clear blocks and little pieces. As you guys can see, there's a lot of clear stuff around here. So definitely pay attention in this section because there's a lot of repetitive things that you're going to be doing. And what's really cool is here in the instruction manual, it actually gives you a 1-to-1 reference guide. So once you're done with that piece, you can actually lay it over and make sure that it matches, because again, it is 1-to-1 ratio. So this piece should match the same design or display that they have here in the instructions. All right, I just finished 2 of these pieces, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is quite a lot going on just in this little piece right here. These are 2, so 2x2 bricks, so it's just like 2 thin ones. And then you have to do, you know, a bunch of those all together to kind of build this up, and then put these little angled ones in. And then obviously you have to do 2 of them. And if you guys can see by the instructions here, then it asks you to just place them underneath here. So this piece that I've been working on, this is what's going to complete the look and give it that kind of rounded shape. I guess to kind of start forming the look of a bottle, which is really, really cool. Again, this is probably the most tedious part here, and it's not just because it takes a lot of different pieces to build it. Why is this not clicking on there? It's not because it takes a lot of different pieces to build it, but I think it's because all the pieces are one color, and obviously that color is clear, so it's not as easy to see. I'm glad that I chose to do it on this black table. I would probably recommend that if you are going to be building this set, definitely do it on a table that is either black or not white, because if it was white, these pieces will definitely blend into the table. So based on the instructions, I'm going to start putting on the walls. So let's get back to the build. So one thing you definitely need to have, besides patience when you're building these sets, is perspective. So I'm following the instructions and I'm building this out, and as you guys can see there, I'm wondering what is going on here. I don't understand this just one piece kind of popping out the top there. And then I start looking into it, and obviously it doesn't go like this because it's a bottle. So this actually goes like that, and this is where you attach the ship to the bottle itself. So again, keep that perspective in mind as you're building out these sets. All right, so the moment of truth, I am now placing the ship inside of the bottle. Again, using the little pegs that I put down here, the little bricks. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully won't break anything. Let's see, there it is. All right, so there it is. The ship is now inside of the bottle. All right, so I completed using all the pieces in package number 2, and as you guys can tell, I used every single one of them. So just make sure that you don't drop any, because this package does not bring any extras. The ship is almost completely in the bottle there. It looks really, really cool. Now I'm moving on to doing the front of it, and it'll completely encase the ship inside of there. All right, so I spoke too soon. Actually, before putting the front of the bottle, I am going to be dropping in the water Legos. So this are designed to to look like water inside of the bottle, which looks really cool. And as you guys can see from the instructions here, there's actually 284 of these in these 2 little packages labeled 3. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so all the water Legos are inside now. They're towards the bottom there. So basically all you have to do now is just rotate it down and then just shake it around until it gets to the way that you want it to look. I'm not going to mess around too much with it now. I want to go ahead and put the front of the bottle on there, and then I can kind of scoot some towards the front. But definitely be very, very careful as you're putting them in there. As you guys can tell, there's not a lot of room to kind of throw those in there. I just kind of followed the instructions the way that the little hand was showing to put them in there, and just making sure that none of them landed on top of the ship itself, just all towards the bottom. All right, so I am on to package number 4, and this is starting to be the just a little extra added on stuff before you actually do the front of the bottle. So this is the cork that's going to go in the front of the bottle, starting to look really, really cool. So let's keep going. Just to add this one here, so I'll go ahead and do that. And these instructions are fairly easy to follow, and again, not having built a set in quite some time, but you know, as always, I do recommend that you be as vigilant as you can with the instructions, just to make sure that you don't skip any steps or go past a particular page or something like that, because it would be very difficult to have to kind of go back and undo any of the work that you've already done. So there it is. That's the front of the bottle there, looking really, really cool. All right, guys, I just finished putting on the front of the bottle, so now it looks like an actual bottle, which is really cool, even with the little seal right here that does spin. I didn't show that because I was trying to be very, very careful, so I actually had this up against my body as I was putting in the top piece right here, making sure that nothing came loose. But as you guys can tell, it is starting to look really, really awesome. Obviously, looking more like a finished piece. Now I just kind of have to work on the base that it's going to sit on, and then give it the last final details. All right, so I'm still working on that base. It looks nice and sturdy, which is really cool. But again, keeping an open mind as far as what you're doing. This one goes upside down. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm using a lot of new techniques, like leaving stuff, you know, just kind of floating in there. So you guys can see it moves around, and it's just held down by some of these flat surfaces on there, or these flat bricks. So it's interesting. Before, you know, whenever I would build different sets, everything would have to be kind of connected tight, and making sure that nothing was wiggling around or anything like that. But I guess, you know, again, these idea sets, people come up with them, and it's just really interesting to see all the little intricate details that as you're building it, you could see them, but then they get covered up. Like the little wings on the end of this, I don't know if you guys can make them out. They're actually yellow. Now, I don't know why they have to be yellow, because you can't really see them, but they made them yellow, and they're in there, and you could barely see them poking out the bottom there. So let's keep going with the build. All right, just wanted to show you a little added detail. It was really cool. So it's got this compass that kind of goes in there, and then you put together the needles, and it actually spins. Again, really awesome attention to detail on these sets. I really, really like that. This piece is just one piece that kind of clicks in there, and then you have to build out the little arrows and little end on the opposite end of the arrow there. So really, really cool. All right, so I just finished placing the little nameplate here. So obviously the ship is called the Leviathan. Looks really, really cool with these little accents kind of coming up. But they also made it so it articulates, so you can actually angle it up or down depending on where you're going to be placing the ship and the bottle and stuff like that, so you can see it a lot better. Again, really awesome attention to detail on this particular set here. All right, so I'm halfway done with the one side of the base here. As you guys can see, they use these flat bricks on there to make it look nice and finished. So on to the opposite end here, and I can definitely see the finish line creeping up. All right, so I just finished building the last portion of the support for the bottle that would go here on the base. Now, I do want to show you guys that these pieces here, once you build them out, they are nice and sturdy. So obviously you're not going to have to worry about them buckling or anything like that when the bottle is sitting on top of them. But again, this is the part that goes down, and see how they use these two kind of cream colored bricks on the bottom. Again, that's, you know, it's cool, but nobody ever sees that. So it's pretty interesting that they do that. Instead of just keeping it all that kind of brown color, they do those little accent bricks here and there that only you, the builder, or, you know, anybody that you show it to, obviously, will be able to see them. So see right there, you know, those different color, kind of cream colored bricks, you know, they're only on the bottom there. So really, really cool. So there is the base. As far as the main structure of the base completed. Let me go ahead and add on all these little extra kind of flare items that they're adding on here. All right, guys, so the base is finished and complete. Again, you have this little articulating sign for the name Leviathan, and you have these two little globes on either side which spin. Again, really cool added touch to the base there. You can just kind of place them however you want. So now all that is left is to get the bottle, and this is the part that I said I was going to wait a little bit more towards the end, just so I can spread out the water a little bit more. I think I might, depending on the look of it, I might want to add a little bit more water just so it looks, I guess, like it's more out in the sea. But for the most part, I wanted to give you guys a quick look at the bottle itself. Again, really, really nice. It's I'd say about 12 inches long, so it's by no means a small build. The ship does look a little small in there, but again, you know, you have a lot of detail with the little cannons and the flags and whatnot. I love the cork, the idea, you know, this little rotating badge right here for the cork of the bottle, and then just the overall look, really, really nice. You have like these kind of two windows, and it's completely sealed in there. Just the way that they did it, it's really interesting as you're putting it through. But basically all you do is just lay it on top of the two little prongs there, and there it is. The base holds it up nice and secure, so you don't have to worry about it rolling off or anything like that. So I'm actually going to be placing this at my desk at work, so I can kind of display it and show it off to anybody that comes in and out of the office. I'm pretty sure that it's going to attract a lot of attention. So this was a really, really fun build. I think for the most part, if you are a little bit older and you used to play with Legos and you really liked building the sets and stuff like that, this is definitely going to take you back. And it's a really cool set to display. You can, you know, again, you can put it on a bookshelf, you can put it at your desk at work or anything like that, and it's going to look really nice, and a lot of people are going to ask questions about it. So there it is. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the new Lego that I picked up, or that I was given for early Father's Day present. Really enjoyed putting it together, and I'm really going to enjoy looking at it day in and day out. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.